On April 5th in Santa Monica Hospital, little Agatha Amanda Cuello was introduced to her mom after being born by a C-section. What she did next made her mother cry for hours. But before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. In the dimly lit hospital room, Amanda sat in her bed, staring at her rounded pregnancy bump. Her eyes welled up with tears as she thought about her late husband, Carlos, who had passed away just a few months ago due to a sudden heart ailment. It was a devastating loss, and the pain of his absence seemed to intensify in these moments of solitude. Amanda gently cradled her belly, feeling the tiny kicks and movements of the baby within. She whispered, almost as if speaking to Carlos himself, "I wish you were here, my love. You should be right beside me, holding my hand, sharing this joy with us." Carlos had always dreamed of becoming a father. The couple had talked for hours, painting vivid pictures of their future as a family. They had chosen a name for their unborn daughter, decorated the nursery, and eagerly awaited the arrival of their child. But fate dealt them a cruel blow, snatching away Carlos before he could witness the miracle he had longed for. Amanda's heart ached with the realization that their child would never know the warmth and love that Carlos would have showered upon them. She often found herself lost in bittersweet reveries, imagining the countless moments they would have shared as a family, watching their child grow, playing together in the park, and building a lifetime of memories. She looked down at her belly, feeling the faint stirrings of life within. "We will make him proud, won't we, little one?" she whispered amidst the sorrow. Amanda was determined to be strong for their unborn child. She knew that her role now was not just as a mother, but as a guardian of Carlos's memory. She vowed to tell her unborn daughter stories about her courageous father, to fill her heart with love and admiration for the man she would never meet. Promised herself that she would ensure their child knew Carlos in spirit and memory, cherishing the bond they would never experience firsthand. As Amanda sat in her hospital ward, lost in thoughts of her late husband, a sudden sharp pain cut through her abdomen. Amanda clutched the side of the hospital bed, her face contorted with pain as the contractions grew stronger. It was clear that it was time her body was signaling that the long-awaited moment had finally arrived. The pains intensified rapidly, leaving her no choice but to ring the call bell for the nurses to come to her aid. With urgency in their steps, the nurses rushed to Amanda's side, their expressions filled with a mix of concern and determination. They quickly wheeled her into the operation room, the sound of beeping machines and the sterile scent of antiseptic filling the air, heightening the tension in the room. Amanda's grip tightened as the intense waves of pain washed over her, her thoughts consumed by fear and anticipation. And she longed for a safe delivery. Desperately hoping to hold her baby in her arms, Amanda lay on the hospital bed, her body drenched in sweat from hours of enduring the relentless waves of contractions. And fatigue tugged at her, threatening to pull her under, but her determination to deliver her baby naturally held strong. Hours ticked by, but her baby showed no signs of making an entrance into the world. The medical team surrounding her grew increasingly concerned, realizing that a natural delivery might not be possible. The doctor gently suggested a C-section due to her prolonged labor. The doctor explained the potential risks and assured her that it was a safe option. But Amanda's fear gripped her heart, making her resolute in her decision to keep pushing. Her voice trembled as she refused their offer. I can't go through with a C-section," she insisted, her voice laced with a mixture of fear. "I want to keep trying. I have to try." The doctor and nurses exchanged glances, understanding the weight of Amanda's decision. They knew the risks involved in prolonged labor, but they also recognized the power of her mother's unwavering determination. They respected her wishes and agreed to support her through her choice, with the condition that they would switch to a C-section if the situation became too perilous. Amanda locked eyes with the doctor, her resolve shining through the tears welling in her eyes. "Well, I understand," she said, her voice steady. "If it becomes too dangerous, I promise I'll agree to the C-section. But for now, let me try." The medical team nodded in understanding, their compassion evident in their eyes. They admired her bravery and commitment, even as they silently prepared for the possibility of a swift change in plans. As the labor intensified, Amanda summoned every ounce of strength within her. She clung to the side rails of the bed, focusing on her breath and channeling her energy into each push. The room filled with her grunts, the encouraging words of the medical team, and the rhythm of her body working towards its ultimate purpose. Tears welled in Amanda's eyes as she grappled with conflicting emotions. And she wanted nothing more than a healthy delivery for her baby, but the thought of the operating room filled her with overwhelming dread. Time lost meaning as Amanda persevered, her body a vessel of determination. The medical team continued guiding her through each step, monitoring her and the baby closely, ready to intervene if necessary. With each push, Amanda felt a burn of exertion and the mingling of pain. She drew strength from the knowledge that her baby was inching closer to her brace. Minutes passed by quickly, and Amanda exerted all her strength. But the baby refused to budge. Amanda's body trembled with exhaustion as she continued to push, her muscles straining against the weight of her unborn child. Despite her determination, she felt a sense of defeat creeping in. The baby's delivery had reached an impasse, and the nurses gently approached her, their voices filled with empathy. "Amanda, you've been incredibly strong," one nurse said, her voice soothing, "but it seems the baby is having difficulty descending further. We strongly recommend considering a C-section." Amanda's heart sank, tears welling in her eyes. She had given it her all, but the reality of the situation weighed heavily upon her. Reluctantly, she nodded. "Okay," she whispered, her voice laced with resignation. "Let's do the C-section." The nurses, ever supportive, reassured Amanda, promising to be there throughout the entire process. They explained the procedure, the steps they would take to ensure her comfort, and the swift delivery that awaited her. Amanda took comfort in their words, finding a glimmer of hope amidst her fears. The medical team sprang into action, preparing Amanda for the C-section. The operating room was filled with tension and reassurance as Amanda was prepared for the procedure. The medical team worked efficiently, creating an atmosphere of calm amidst the urgency. Amanda clutched onto the nurse's hand tightly, finding strength in the connection, while the doctor explained each step to her, making sure she understood the procedure. As Amanda held on to the hope that everything would be okay, the surgeon made the necessary incisions, carefully navigating the procedure with practiced precision. Amanda's heart raced as she awaited the moment when she would finally meet her child. After minutes of tense and meticulous surgery, the moment finally arrived. The medical team carefully cradled Agatha, Amanda's newborn child, and brought her to her side. As they placed the tiny bundle in Amanda's arms, everyone in the room was taken aback by what happened next. Instead of the expected cries of a newborn, Amanda's daughter tightly clasped her tiny fingers around her mother's and let out a heartfelt cry. It was as if the baby understood the immense love and connection that already existed between them. Tears of joy and relief welled up in Amanda's eyes, trickling down her cheeks. She was overwhelmed with a rush of emotions, grateful beyond words for the safe arrival of her precious daughter. At that moment, all the pain and uncertainty of the past hours faded away, replaced by an indescribable sense of awe and love. Amanda looked up at the nurses who had tirelessly supported her throughout the journey. Their faces mirrored her joy, their eyes filled with pride and warmth. They had been more than just medical professionals, they had been her pillars of strength, providing unwavering support and motivation when she needed it most. With a shaky voice, Amanda expressed her deep gratitude, her words carrying the weight of her emotions. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice filled with sincerity. "Thank you for being there for me, for helping me bring my daughter into this world. I couldn't have done it without you." The nurses smiled, their own eyes simmering with tears. They had witnessed countless deliveries, but each one held a special place in their hearts. The bonds they formed with the mothers and their families were a testament to the incredible journey of childbirth. In that moment of sheer joy, the room was filled with a palpable sense of unity and celebration. Amanda held her daughter, Agatha, close, cherishing the warmth and life radiating from the tiny bundle in her arms. She knew that her journey as a mother had just begun, and she was ready to embrace every joy and challenge that lay ahead. What do you think of this beautiful story?